you gave her, so
Mhm.
you gave her a work of art.
Yes.
That was nice.
That was nice.
Hey, everybody, how we doing?
Piece of yourself.
Oh, hello, Charles.
Oh, Charles.
So,
Yeah. Talking about you.
you're talking about me?
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
You didn't give me a work of art.
I send you some.
Well,
No, I'm on the telephone.
you sent me a picture of your card.
Yes.
Is that what you gave away?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. All right, good. You can tell us all about it here in a minute.
Now,
How's everybody doing?
Fine.
Okay.
Fine.
We got
Okay.
the new number.
Yes. Okay. Did everybody either get an email or a text?
No.
No.
Yes.
I haven't looked.
I got it this morning.
I bet you were the undisclosed, unknown text that I discarded without opening because I didn't know who it was.
Oh, okay. So, John, you didn't get it.
No, I don't have it then.
When did you send it?
Well,
Yeah, right.
okay, John, did you discard it or did it not come through?
Well, I don't know if it was yours or not. I did have a text that I discarded that I did not open or look at because I didn't know who it was.
Well, it was
Oh.
probably me. Because
Probably was. Right.
so did you discard it or did?
I discarded it, yes. And I'm looking and I can't read it. I don't see it anywhere to reclaim. So if you could send it again, I can put you into my contact list and then your name will come up when I see it.
Yes,
And Charles, I don't see it
that
on
would
my
be a
list.
good thing.
Yes.
I'm gonna save the old one in
Let's see.
case.
Okay. Okay.
I didn't get it either.
I'm
You
gonna
did not?
save the old one in case.
Now, Eloise, I think well, no, I sent it to the number you gave me,
Uh-huh.
Eloise.
Oh, you texted.
Yes,
It's a text message.
yes,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
right.
Okay.
That's what I said. Some of you I sent a text if I had your number. Others I ended up
Oh,
sending
yeah.
an email because I didn't have an actual number for you.
I might have trashed that too. I see one that I was about to trash. It says something about Fulton County, so I thought it was a trash. So I
Well,
got it.
yeah, you do have it?
Yes, and I didn't put it in the garbage yet. I was about to
Okay.
because I
You might-
glanced at it and I didn't recognize it. So in the trash, it
You
was
might want to
gone.
go up there at the top and
Yeah,
info.
I'll save it. It's you.
Round circle thing up at the top at the message, and if you just touch it, it says like info and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The email address is the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that hadn't changed, but okay, John, I'm sending it again.
Okay.
So
I'm looking.
it should come in on your phone here in a minute. So at any rate, okay. So yeah, I got around to getting all of those out in one form or another. So all of you should have my Fulton County email address, and you should have the phone that Fulton County gave me. So if you need to reach me, if you need to get get my attention real quick, sending me a text is a good way of doing it.
Yep.
Well, I still didn't get it. I got something came through. I don't know if you're going right to my trash.
Well, it's not an email. It's a text, John.
Text. That's what I'm looking at. Yes.
Okay.
If any of you get arrested, just call Charles on that number.
If
How
what?
about, can you just give it to me verbally right now?
What's that? My number?
Your number.
Yeah, it's 470-845-8255. 3928. And then you have my email address.
Right. This is your new text number.
Yeah, that's my Fulton County phone.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, to be honest with you all, if I need to reach you quickly, the easiest way for me to do it is really with a text. Though I only have phone numbers I have some phone numbers, but a lot of them are house phones. Text doesn't work with your house phone.
No.
In fact, it gets very upset about it. It says, no, don't send me there. So anyway, but that's fine. Okay. So at least I know they went out and, you guys should have them somewhere, in the world. Yeah. So anything else going on in the world with anybody? Anybody having any major issues or anything like that we need to talk about?
Charles,
Yes.
I am recovering from an allergic reaction to acrylic paint that I bought at a grocery store in a children's paint set. And I got it all over my hands yesterday. And I broke out in hives and I had to go to the Minute Clinic and I got a shot of prednisone, and I'm taking prednisone for the next 5 days. I just wanted to warn people that if it's from a foreign country, you need to really be careful about the paint that you use.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
Now, you said that you bought like children's acrylic paint?
Yes, yeah, it's in a craft box like this.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Back up. Yeah. There. Okay. Well,
Yeah,
yeah, like that. Okay. So
Yeah,
a box or something like that. Okay. Where
yeah,
where did you get it?
I got it at Lidl's. Lidl's, is that how you say it? Lidl's grocery store. They
Oh,
sell a lot of craft objects for kids. And this is the only thing different that I got exposed to yesterday, but I got it all over my hands and had to wash my hands a lot, washed out a lot of brushes.
Mhm.
And then within about an hour and a half, I had broken out in hives all over.
Okay.
I didn't do anything else weird or eat anything unusual, but it was very upsetting, and I think that's probably what it was, so I just wanted to put out a caution.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, getting hives is not fun. I mean, it is not. I've had that one time in my life, and it was miserable.
Yeah, if anybody ever wants to torture somebody, give them something that they're allergic to.
Yeah, really. Yeah. Well, yeah. Unless you know that they're allergic to stuff. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Well, that's kind of interesting because I've never actually heard of anybody having a reaction to acrylic paint. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just saying I just haven't ever heard of that. Yeah. I wonder. Now, you used acrylics before, right?
Yes, I've used acrylics. Mostly everything that I've ever used, though, has been from Benson. Never any reaction there. This was on the public market.
Yeah.
And I bought other items from them. I brought some gel pens, and no problems with those. I bought some watercolors, no problems with those. But just this one. See, my face is still overheated from it.
Yeah, you look a little bit flushed, a little bit red overall.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't. Unfortunately, it was made in China.
Okay.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
yes.
I wonder
What's
what
the
they've got in there.
What's the brand?
It says Korea Box.
Yeah.
Korea Box, M-A-R-A-B-U, Marabou, acrylic paints.
Hmm.
Can you see that?
Not very well because you turn green when you hold that up. I see your fingers.
Okay.
Yeah,
What
back
did you-
there. Whoop. Yeah. Yeah, there's a certain spot you show up other than that, you disappear. At any
You
rate,
should return it so they know that is.
Yes,
maybe
I've
your
found my
safe-
receipt and I'm going to tell them what happened. I don't know if there's anything that they can do about it, but I do want to warn somebody else in case it happens.
Well, maybe they can pay for your doctor visit or the other thing.
No,
Yeah.
I think those kinds of things are very difficult to prove.
yeah,
But, I'm just putting out a warning for everybody else that there might be something toxic in the paints you use, so be careful.
sounds like it. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for sharing that,
Okay.
with all of us. Okay.
Sorry, it wasn't good news.
Well, hey, this is life, But it's good to know, and other people now know not to go there and buy acrylic paint.
Right. From Marabou brand.
Marabou brand or whatever that is. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I guess, let's go ahead and jump in. We got a little bit of work to look at, and I think my phone just dinged.
That was probably me. I just
Got
returned
it,
the
John.
text and it
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, very good.
Okay. Okay. So we're gonna start with some of the stuff you guys sent in. Not that you didn't send a lot of stuff in, so this will go fairly quickly, I think.
Well, we overdid it on Tuesday, so.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Well, no. Tuesday was good. We had a very lively discussion on Tuesday.
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff to look at. And I don't mind that. I actually like that. When there's a fair amount of stuff to look at. So,
All right.
so to start off with, we have Mr. Armando Martinez and his lovely artwork of a flower. Okay, and this looks like it's on a fairly small canvas board.
Yeah.
And Armando, is this acrylic or is this what kind
Acrylic,
of?
yes. First time that I use acrylic. I still don't know how to mix the color with acrylic.
Well, do you know how to make the color in oil?
In acrylic, to mix the color in acrylic. So
Yeah, it works kind of the same as it does with oil paint and anything else. Okay, there's not a lot of difference. Now, when you mix acrylic paint, depending on the brand you get and things like that, some will darken as they dry more than others. But overall, you should probably be okay. But this looks pretty good. You got a good start. Now, you had some reference here.
yeah.
And what kind of flower is this?
Daylily.
A daylily?
Yeah,
Oh,
in my garden.
okay. Yeah. That's a really intense looking daylily.
Mhm.
Beautiful.
That kind of magenta
That
color.
color is beautiful.
Yeah.
I never seen that color.
I think it's got some, what is it, Wandering Jew or something, on the ground.
No,
that's what's bad.
it's no wondering. Just
No,
another.
It's that Cretia. That Cretia.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm not a flower guy, so I don't know. It's some kind of purple vine thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Behind it, which is actually not part of it, right?
Yeah.
The green stems down here are part of the daylily. Okay. And then you've got
down there too.
you've got some clover looking things and ground cover below it.
Yeah.
So-
They have pink flowers. Yes, those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So my question to you is this, okay? Now, you've obviously already given this away to somebody, right?
I gave her already. And she likes it.
Right. Yeah. Well, and she should be very happy with it.
Yeah.
Now, is this one of the ladies in your complex
Uh-huh.
where you live? Yes. No.
Yeah. Yes. One of them.
Okay. All right. Good. All right. Well, I'm glad you guys are being nice to each other during during your period of isolation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I have a question for you. Okay, now you put a color in the background, and I'm just looking
Yeah,
at the
first,
colors.
yeah.
Some of the colors here look like they might be metallic or
Yes, it's
or like
metallic.
metallic. Okay.
Yes.
All right, yeah, because looking at some of the greens and even the kind of beige or brown color for the background, it looks a little bit metallic.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, all right. So now, I guess my question is, looking at the colors that you have there, it kind of looks a little bit Christmassy. Was that your intention or
No,
no? Okay,
she doesn't celebrate Christmas. She's Jewish.
okay, all right. Um, All right. And so with the red that you had, was that the only red that you were able to get, or did you have something that you could make it a little more kind of like magenta, like the original flower was? Or you
No,
didn't know
that's
how
the
to mix?
only red, but I tried to mix it with yellow and other. I couldn't get that pink.
Right.
I
Yeah.
tried, I
And
couldn't get the pink.
yeah, and mixing your red with the yellow will not make it pink. It'll make it more orange.
Oh,
Okay. Did you try red and white?
no, because you see the white around that white turn like a silver when it dry out.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that looks metallic to me. It doesn't look like white.
Yes, it's metallic, yes.
Yeah, but what my question to you is, did you try taking the red that you had, in the tube or whatever that you were using?
No, I didn't try with the white, no.
Okay, so here's what I want you to do. Obviously not on this because she's already got it, but on a little canvas or a piece of paper or whatever, take some of your acrylic paint and then try to figure out a combination of the colors that you have that'll get you closer to that kind of more pinky sort of red. And the only clue I'm going to give you is that you're going to have to take that red and you're going to have to add white to it.
Mhm.
But you might also have to add like a purple to it as well, just to cool it off a little bit, because depending on the red that you have in it might already have like too much yellow in it. And so adding white will make it kind of pink, but it won't really make it that kind of pink. So just a little bit of purple in it might help it. Okay? And get you closer.
Okay.
But, since you A, have acrylic paint, and B, you're struggling with mixing colors, don't worry about painting a thing, right? Look at things around you, photographs, things like that, and pick certain colors out and try to actually mix them and get close to matching the color, just as an exercise. And that way you get a little more familiar with the tools that you have and sort of the range of color you can get with them, okay?
Uh-huh.
Does that sound like a plan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
I know it's extra work, but you want to learn how to paint. One of the things you need to do is learn about the colors that you have in the paint set that you got and what they'll actually do. So you have to experiment. You have to play with them a little bit. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right. Eloise. Eloise sent this in, and this is
Yes.
the lobby. Is this over at Bowden?
Yes.
Okay. And you had a lovely lady sitting there as a model. Here's your reference.
Well, I just snapped her. She didn't know I did it. I just thought it was a good idea. So
Mhm.
I don't know who it was or anything.
Yeah. Okay. But I have to honestly tell you, I like your painting better than I like the photograph.
Oh, thank you.
Well, the color is just, you've got more intensity and brightness in the color, and it feels more appropriate to the subject.
What can I do to improve it then?
Well, and here's the thing, okay? Like, I really like how clean and bright all the color is up here, and then the color of her clothing, things like that. I'm wondering though, because I'm looking here at the carpet, and particularly back here by the wall and under the chair, I think you need, you know, along that edge, you need to really get that fairly dark, close to actual black. Now, what you've mixed for the dark of her clothing actually looks a little bit on the purple side.
Yes, it is.
And it may, well, you know, and it may be partly the photo that you took, but it may actually be that. So if this is going to be warmer, right? It's kind of a warmer version of black. Then back here, make it cooler. Put more blue in it and make it much darker back under here so that it feels like a shadow and it sits up under the furniture. Okay? And this will begin to push backward. You can let it go to this lighter gray, you know, here in the foreground and the front. But yeah, really get it dark up under the edge here.
I
Okay.
did not want her clothes. It was so much black there. I decided to change the color. So the color is going to be a kind of a deep purple.
Well, if you make it a deep purple, then you're going to lose her leg. Okay. And that's why I'm saying go the opposite direction. Now, if you're mixing a black in that mixture, just put more blue in it. Okay. You know, you seem like you have either an ultramarine or a cobalt here. So when you're mixing your black, you know, mix it with that and put more of the blue in it. It will contrast against the pants leg and things. The pants leg will come forward because it will look warmer. See? And I'm not saying, you know, don't do the whole carpet in it. I'm just saying, you know, back here by this back edge and under this, you know, the chair and the table, you know, it's basically the shadow that's being cast by the furniture. And it tells you where the light's coming from, which is up above, right? And you don't really get that because you don't see the cast shadow here. Now, where you're gonna have to be careful is around the arms of the chair. If you can, you know, just leave just the slightest little light edge, you know, along this chair leg so that it kind of pops forward. If you can't do that and if you end up losing it, it's really okay. It's fine. Though you could always come back in with like a real faint line on one side or the other, again, to kind of give it the indication of where the light's coming from. Okay.
The legs, the supports are just pitch black. So you're saying put a light edge against them?
Well, I would say, you know, as I painted this in, I would figure out where the light came from. It's coming from above, but is it more to the right, more to the left? And when I'm looking at this, I would say it's probably coming more from the right, okay? If that's the case, then the black carpet, which is not really gonna be black. So you're gonna take that black and you're gonna put a lot of blue in it. If you start with black, you know, put a lot of extra blue in it. Don't put any red in it, because if you do, you're gonna make it purple and it's gonna be the same color as the clothing she's wearing. What I'm trying to get you to do is to get a very strong dark back there that's cooler in temperature, right? But isn't black either. So that it will sit back here and the black legs will still show up, you know, but it won't interfere, you know, with this dark pantsuit that she's got on.
So the clothing should be made black.
No,
Is that what
no, leave the clothing alone. You know, leave the clothing alone, leave the chairs alone. All I'm saying is mix a color, predominantly blue. Okay. Now, if you want to take the blue and you want to add a little black to it, great. You know, that's a good way to go. If you want to make your own black, that's fine, but make it really, really high in blue, right? So it's kind of this bluish black, and that it looks different in value than that chair leg.
Oh, okay.
See? Let the chair leg be a little bit darker, just a little bit, okay? I mean, you almost lose it, okay? And then on one side of the chair leg, see, rather than painting all the way up to the edge, just leave like the slightest little outline on one side. And I would probably pick the right side of the chair leg, because what it tells you is that the light in the room is hitting that side of the chair leg more than it is the other. Does that make any sense to you?
Yes, I'm writing so I won't forget this.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
But really all you need is like up under this table, you know, back here, you know, in the back, right along the edge where the wall meets the carpet, right? See, just back in those areas, just get it darker and it'll push that area back, you know, and move her forward. And, you know, do you have to do that? No. Because, I mean, she already is coming forward. She feels like she's sitting on the ground. You know, she's not floating anywhere or anything like that. It's just to give you a little more contrast, you know, and give it a little more pop. And, of course, it's going to be sort of the highest contrast in the whole painting. So, again, your eye is going to be pulled, you know, right into that area. Yeah.
So does the whole entire carpet also need to be darker?
No,
Just
not
the
up here.
edges of that.
Just this back edge and up under this chair and under this table.
Okay.
That's it. See? You know, you're not painting out the whole carpet. Just that back edge.
All right. All right.
Little, you know, a little bit goes a long way. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I'll work.
Okay. Yeah, try it. You know.
Thank you.
You know, but as you lay the color down, really look at it very carefully and make sure that there's a contrast, you know, between your black leg and what you're putting back there. They may be similar in value, but again, make the color different enough. Like I said, more blue is probably the direction I would go.
All
But
right.
you could go lots of different directions. You could go more red. You could go more green. Or I wouldn't go purple, again, because her pantsuit, the clothing that she's wearing, already looks kind of violet, and you want something to contrast that.
All right.
Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
We're trying to make something that's dark that's not similar to that. Right? And you could really get away with just about anything. You know, any kind of dark value back there would be fine, other than purple.
Okay.
All right. John? Well,
Yes.
yes, let's pick on John here for a little bit. Okay, so let me blow this up because I think this is what John sent in yesterday, okay? And we talked about the outline, you know, on the buildings and everything else. And John went back in, I'm assuming, and somehow got rid of a lot of the outlines. And look at the difference.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. Okay. And now it doesn't look flat, does it?
No,
Looks really nice.
Yeah. See, the lighthouse looks round. The house feels kind of like it's sitting in the right position. The fence behind the house doesn't jump way forward, but kind of sits back in the background now. Okay. You know.
Yeah, I was able to get those out of there, and just using water, wetting it down and lifting it out, and that pretty much.
What did you outline it with? Was it a pen or was it?
No, it was watercolor.
It was watercolor. Okay. Okay. Good.
So I was just lifting the paint out, really.
Okay. Well, you did a really nice, clean job of it. I mean, it looks great. So
Thank you. Thank you.
nice recovery.
Same thing with the fence. I just wet it down, and then I did go over a little bit with a more of that brown tone.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Try
Well,
to-
it looks good.
try to put it back.
Yeah, it looks great.
It
No,
does.
you could never tell it was there.
Right. No. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Much
I
better.
tried.
Not only did you try, you succeeded. How about that?
All right. Okay.
All right. Miss Jean.
Yep, I'm here.
Good. You're talking to us today. Yay. Okay, so Jean sent in, this was her girl with the grapes. Now, you sent this in once or twice. My question to you is, okay, now I know this is watercolor. Are you going to do any kind of indication on the actual face of the eyes or anything like that?
Not really. I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking more, I would rather have just the movement of the figure. I could put it in, but I mean, I could at least put a shadow in there, but I never even thought about that because I was
Yeah,
trying
somehow.
to get the
Okay.
movement of the scene.
Yeah. Well, somehow it's like if you look at the arms, if you look at, you know, most of the figure and the clothing, stuff like that, they all seem to be moving around a form, right? And then you come up here to the jawline, you've got this dark patch under there. And then all of a sudden, you know, from this point to the forehead, it's all the same value in color.
Right.
Okay. So my thought is this, okay? Now, I'm not saying that you have to paint eyes and nostrils and lips and stuff like that. But if you could just find maybe a darker value for like the eye socket in here or a lighter area for the cheekbone, you know, wherever that would be placed, all of a sudden that area in there isn't flat. You know, it's a suggestion that it actually has some kind of form to it. Now, you could put in just the shadow of the eye socket and not bother to even put in the eye. But that, you know, that and the indication of the cheekbone should give you enough information that begins to feel more like a human head that's three-dimensional and not just a flat color area, okay?
Right. Well, I was just more intense on trying to get the outline around the body by pulling out the color of the background and leaves so that it didn't have an outline around it.
Yeah, and see, well, yeah, the halo that you had around it. And see, now all of that's gone.
I never paid attention to the face.
I'm sorry, what?
I said I never paid any attention to the face because I was so intense. I'm trying to get it the feel of the background.
Yeah, and all of that works really beautifully. You know, in fact, everything works really nicely. The only thing, like I said, that really stands out is everything looks fairly dimensional till you get to really sort of the face and the chest area and the neck. And it's just, you know, find some values in there to indicate that, you know, there's some planes and surfaces in there, either some catching more light or, you know, in some kind of shadow. And all of a sudden it becomes a little more alive. I mean, you did, yeah, if you look here at the hand and the forearm, you did a beautiful job on that.
Right.
And so if some of those values and colors could translate up into, say, the neck and the eye socket, areas like that, then, as I said, it would look more like a solid form. Okay?
Yeah, I'll try that next.
Yeah, so just, you know, spend a little bit of time, look at the reference, you know, and kind of figure out how you know, how you might do that, where you might place the eye socket, or what do you really see there? You know, where is it darker? Where is it lighter? You know?
Right.
you know, and try to, you know, just go off the reference, you know, use it as a
Right.
guide. Okay.
Right,
Um,
thank you.
Then you sent this lovely young lady back, and
Yeah, the dark lines that I had in her.
yeah, believe me, she is much better.
better.
Okay. Yeah, much better. Um, you know, and you know, she doesn't look kind of hard and stiff. You know, she looks, you know, lovely. I mean, really friendly. I mean, you know that she's kind of an older lady and she's got a big hat and, you know, she's got a little bit of personality to her, you know. But yeah, the way you handle the color and the value and paint. See, you've got plenty of form, you know, in that face, you know, because of the change of value around the cheekbones, you know, the light into the shadow, things like that. And so it works really nicely. So, and now you don't have that, you know, heavy outline on everything, and it's much, much better. We have these lovely flowers. Okay. And had you sent these in before?
No, I just finished that.
Oh, okay. All right. But again, you know, it's nice because you didn't put that hard outline around it. And so, you know, it looks kind of looser, more impressionistic, kind of painterly.
That was exactly what I was trying to do, because usually I take the Frisket and mark where the yellow and do the back, and then I do the background.
Mhm.
This time I did the flowers first and then painted negatively around the flowers. And
Oh, you
got,
went around them. Okay. All right.
right. And I just, with nothing around it, but I think that's what I was trying to do, is get something so looser instead of so stark.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, guess what? It worked out for you.
It worked.
It did. Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah. And I put some colors in the background because I thought it made it more interesting.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Instead of just
Yeah.
overall wash.
Yeah. I mean, look, you know, I mean, the color and the flower and the transition and the values, you know, between it, it all reads really nicely and it doesn't look flat. It looks like the petals are wrapped around it. Even these leaves back in here, you know, feel a little bit dimensional, you know.
Right.
So you did a really nice job, you know, handling most of that. And then that darker background, you know, really kind of sets them off, you know, and gets them to pop forward. So
That was the intention, but sometimes it doesn't work. This is like, I think it was like a 7x7 piece of paper.
yeah, but it's, you know, it's a nice little piece. It is. So now we're gonna talk to Rebecca. We've seen this image before. This looks familiar. Armando was working on this, and he showed us his version. This is Rebecca's. This was the model who was down there that day, and you know, we were out painting. She was sitting there on the rock wall, and this is Rebecca's painting. Okay. And, you know, you did a pretty good job at, you know, getting the feel, you know, for what was going on there. I guess my only comment to you would be this. Like the top of this wall, you see it's the same color and value as you've got on the side of it, right?
Okay.
And what you actually see in the reference is that, let me zoom out a little bit here, is that really where you get the strongest light, you know, in this whole composition is on the top of this wall, on her shoulder, and then on this path back here in the back. See? It doesn't come all the way down in here because all of this is in shadow, right? And so when I'm looking at your painting, zoom out on this at this point. See, you've got all this lovely light back here, you know, hitting, you know, the trees and the plants back in the background. But your value from this point all the way down to the bottom is all the same, right?
Mhm.
So it tells you that all of that is in a pretty consistent, you know, shadow, and or that it's flat, and it looks more flat than being in shadow. So trying to find a couple of little points where there's actually light, like maybe not all the way down the wall, but, you know, maybe in here, you know, maybe it's a lighter, it's the same color, but it's a lighter value of that color. The shoulder overall, you know, pops out and, you know, looks light enough, though I think you could maybe make not all of it, just a little bit of it, like on the back side of it here, a little bit lighter than what's here.
Wait, show me again what?
Pardon?
What the behind her strap next to her hair lighter?
Well, probably underneath her strap, you know, on both sides of it a little bit. Like a little bit on this side and a little bit back here, but more to the top. Let's look at the reference.
Yeah.
Because you see where the light is?
Yes.
See, it's not here on the front side of the arm, it's back here on the back, right? Right in there. See?
So again, make the top part of her shoulder a little lighter.
Well, it's really kind of the back side of the arm and the top of the shoulder right here. So yeah, like right, you know, kind of like right in there. If you made like pardon?
I see it.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, not very big, just a little. You know, you just throw a little light in there, and all of a sudden that shoulder becomes dimensional. It's not flat. See, in your painting, it's all pretty much so the same color and value. Well, it's a little. You could grade it down a little bit back there, but you see from here over to here, it's the same. And when we're actually looking at it in the reference, it's not. See, it's actually much brighter back here. And then this becomes in, you know, as a shadow or a halftone. You know, if you make this light enough, then this will begin to look dark.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
And so, you know, just like with Jean and with, you know, Armando, you know, again, you know, finding that one or two steps in value can tell you that it's not a flat surface, but that it's actually a form and light and shadow involved. And
so in the background, do I need to make the background much lighter as well?
no, I mean, if you put just down here on the path, see, I don't really know what these are. They look like stones or something.
Yeah, there was cement.
Oh, okay, it's steps going out. Yeah. Yeah, so up above the steps, you see how much lighter it is from really her hair down to just about where the steps are?
Right.
See? And you haven't really left that much space, but yeah, I guess if this area right here were much lighter and the wall were much lighter, different colors, similar values, you know, and then a similar value here on her shoulder, but again, a color that's more appropriate for flesh. See, if you put those lights in there, then, you know, I think most of this will come alive for you. Because that's all you're really missing is you've got all the midtones, you've got all the darks. And the only place that you really have any indication of real light is in the background.
Okay.
But you see, you know, the background isn't where we want to look. Where we want to look is right here, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I had put so many layers of paint on the top of the wall that it began to look like it was a collage.
And what's wrong with that?
I thought it looked rough, like the stones that made it, so I left it alone.
Right.
But I will definitely lighten them up.
Well, and again, Rebecca, listen.
I'm listening.
Okay, see, it's, you know, don't make the whole top of the wall light.
Just a little bit of it.
Yeah, see, like maybe from the bottom up to about maybe halfway, see?
Okay.
And again, it doesn't need to be a hard shape. You know, it can be crisper or harder along the edge, but as it moves up, see, start a gradation, you know, so it goes from that light to what you've got there. See, so there's a little transition in there. Same thing with the shoulder. See, it can be bright maybe right here, but then it gets a little more like the flesh tone as it moves away from there.
Charles, I started using the paint that I had a reaction to over the oil. This was a painting that I did at the Benson Center.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that if I get any more acrylic paint, I'll put acrylic over acrylic, but not over, you can't put oil over acrylic, can you?
Well, you can put oil over acrylic. You cannot put acrylic over oil.
Oh, okay.
See, you know, oil and water do not mix, right? So you put oil down first, putting water on top of it is useless because it's going to beat up, right?
Right.
Now, if you started off with the acrylic and you put oil over that, you'd be okay.
So I started off with oil. I put acrylic over it, so I should use acrylic on it again.
Well, yeah, if that's all you got.
No, I'm not using the acrylic anymore. I'm going to try the oil.
Yeah, yeah. If you've got oil paint and you started with oil paint, I would put oil paint over it.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay, yeah. And you've used the oil paint in the past and you haven't broken out from it, so that's good.
Yeah.
That's good indication.
Fine.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. All right, so moving on, I'm going to start with this. Miss Veronica.
Oh, how pretty.
Veronica, you here?
Here.
You talking to us?
Yes. Can you hear me?
We can hear you now. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so I got a question for you. You sent this to me first. Actually, you sent it to me second. And I got this one.
Oh, yeah.
And then you sent me this. Okay. Now I'm, call me crazy. Okay. But I'm making a leap of faith or assumption here that what you sent me the first time was this center panel.
That's correct.
Okay. Now let me ask you a question because they look very different. When I look at this, the lighting was different on it and it looked a lot cooler and like more like green and stuff in the background. And here it looks much brighter and I don't really see that green. Is it just because of the lighting in the photo or is it because you've actually changed some of the color?
Oh, it's the lighting.
Okay.
The first one, I took the picture. The series, the photographer took the picture.
And
the family photographer. She said she didn't like the first one that I took. She said that lighting is horrible. I'm gonna take the picture for you.
Yeah, you might want to listen to her.
I did, but I had already sent you the first one, and that's when she said, "Did you send that already?" I said, "Yes." And she says, "Okay, I need to put them all together, take the picture for you, and then you'll send them." And that's what happened.
Well, good. Okay. Well, it worked out because, as a triptych, they work really nicely. And the lighting on this is so much better than the other way. Okay.
Yes.
All right, good. All right. Yeah, because I kind of get the feeling that, these actually look, they're close to the color that you actually painted them. And
yeah.
Okay. All right. So I've got a few comments about them. Okay. One.
Okay.
Now you're using oil or are you using acrylic? It looks like oil.
It is oil.
Okay.
It's a metallic oil as well.
Oh,
Well, the gold part. And then I mix the other colors. Let's say for purposes of this, more matte colors. So
Okay.
all the yellows is the metallic.
yeah. So you're using, well, when you say metallic, like a metallic gold, right?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Do you have any other metallics in there other than the gold?
No, not yet.
All right. So all the rest of them are pretty much so just standard non-metallic colors. All right.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, the funny thing about metallic colors, they're fun to work with, you know, and they get some really, really interesting effects. The problem is that when you photograph them, you know, a lot of times it doesn't really come off as looking metallic, depending on the lighting. Now, in this particular case, they did, because she had it out in some sunlight, and you know, and they actually showed up. So,
Yeah.
which is a nice thing. So you get a clear understanding that this is actually metallic paint. But what I was gonna where I was gonna go with that is the fact that you're mixing some nice neutral grays and things to really contrast the color. And because all of this is so neutral, it really makes the color in all three of these a lot more intense. If you had tried to put another like color or color family back there, you know, these would not look the same. Okay.
Okay.
So I like the way you're playing with the color. And I guess my question is, you know, you've got a triptych here. And so it's 3 pieces of related artwork. And yet they're all very different in composition. Is there a reason for that?
No, it's just where my head was that day.
Okay. So I guess my question is, next question would be, did you try putting them all on the easel at the same time and painting them together, or did you work on them separately?
Oh, they were all there together.
Okay.
I know, right?
Well, no, I mean, it's fine. Well, because, and the reason I ask is that for me, you know, I want to find something that connects through all 3 of them.
Okay.
So that I know that they're all related. You know, now
Okay.
you've got the metallic color, okay, and they're all similar. You've got the grays, which are all fairly similar. But something in the composition, nothing really aligns or really relates. You know, none of this really kind of flows over into this or vice versa,
Okay.
right? And I guess what I would say is I kind of want to see them unified in some way so that you really know that they're a triptych.
Okay.
Does that make any sense to you?
It does.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be my question, Veronica. Was your intent that they be displayed like that, 3 side by side, or individually?
Yeah.
displayed?
Well, I guess 3 side by side, or I wanted them to also be able to stand alone. So you could go either horizontally or vertically.
Right. Yeah.
So I'll work on it so you know, more to try to unify it, you know, in my mind.
Okay. Well, I'm okay. Now only do that. Okay. Only do that if your actual intention is to have them as a triptych and to work kind of the way that they're put together. If you're
Okay.
looking at them as 3 separate paintings, then that's a whole totally different proposition.
Yeah.
See, then they can be anything, you know.
Yeah.
But if you're going to display them similar to the way she set them up, you know, then you want to kind of unify them across the 3
Oh.
so that they work
Okay. not
really as 3 separate paintings, but as one painting that has 3 separate parts.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. You know, Veronica, there are no rules. Okay.
Yeah.
Quite frankly. So you know, I mean, it's just a suggestion. You know, and again, you know, it depends on what you intend. And, you know, for me, when I'm doing things like that, rather than painting at first, you know, I'll do thumbnails and I kind of work out the composition, things like that. So I have a good idea of where I want to go with it.
Okay.
And sometimes, you know, sometimes they don't connect, you know, other times they will. Okay. So
I can see them connecting, like the picture on the right in the middle, the very top of your light tan going into that middle range right above the gray.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of a continuous shape and then sort of dissolving as the dark on the gray in the bottom goes into the picture on the left.
Mhm. Yeah.
I mean, that sort of give a pattern or a uniform
Okay.
movement.
You know, and I've seen some pictures like, you know, that are put together, just placed together. Artists painting on them and they connect them with linear designs where they can be, if you put them together, they all read as one.
Right.
But you can take them apart and they will still read as an individual painting.
Right. Yeah.
Just with the linear work in it.
Well, yes,
Lots-
I'm gonna
lots of
work on
different
that now that, you know, that's why I showed them today. And this is small for me because they're like 6 by 6.
May I make a comment?
Sure.
When you showed us the middle one, I thought of a classical piece of music by Handel. It's called Water Music because it reminded me of fountains shooting water up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thank you for that. And for me, that's the favorite piece.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
The
So-
colors in it are really nice. I really like the colors in it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jean.
So
so listen to Handel's Water Music and see if it reminds you of your beautiful picture.
right.
Okay.
Yeah. Put on a piece of music and, you know, see, you know, look at them, think about them, you know, figure something out, you know, to, again, get them to relate to each other. You know, I mean,
Okay.
they don't have to connect compositionally, you know, maybe it's just a matter of picking up like a little bit of the color, like this pink,
Right.
and getting
And
a
put
little
it
bit
in.
of the pink in each one. Not a lot, just a little touch here or there.
Just a little touch. Okay.
Yeah, so that again, it's something that's related and consistent all the way through. See?
Okay.
Okay. I mean,
Thank you.
There's got to be 100 different ways of doing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, guess what? That's it. That's all the work that you guys sent in, and it's only 2:58. Wow. Okay. I wanted to share a couple of things I've been working on. As you know, I've been doing a lot of landscapes lately. You know, kind of starting off with this one, and you've seen that before. But
It's not up there yet. Where is it?
Yeah, the picture hasn't changed. The picture
not.
hasn't changed. No.
you
There's a big delay today.
That delay is getting longer and longer.
oh, can you?
Oh,
see
there it
now?
is.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, got it.
Look
Wow.
nice.
Okay. That is a
Yeah,
long,
we I see what you're talking about.
that is a long delay. Okay. All right. Wow, you had me going there for a minute. It's like, okay, it says it's sharing. Right? Anyway, so that's one that I did recently and I showed you guys. I'm pretty happy with that one. This is another one about the same size. This is a nocturne here at the lake. And
It
then
hasn't
one,
changed either.
A
Pardon?
nocturne?
It hasn't changed.
oh, it hasn't changed. Oh, okay, we're waiting.
There we go.
There we go. Now you see trees and a moon and yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. I'll just change it and then 5 minutes later I'll start talking about it.
Okay.
Gee, you know, I only wanted to show you like, 6 paintings here. So, that's another one. And mainly what I've been kind of playing with is skies. And I've been trying to get more interesting skies in my painting these days. This is one that I had done. This is actually probably the first one that I had done. And I'll wait 5 minutes. Let me know when you see it change.
Tick, 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 tick.
Yeah.
There we
We
go.
now have silos.
Yeah, the silos. Okay, good. All right, somebody sees it. So this is probably the first piece that I had done. And again, playing.
Are the mountain done with a palette knife?
No, none of this is done with a palette knife. It's all just brush type stuff.
It looks so
And it actually started off as acrylic, and then I plastered more oil paint on top of it. But the paint's fairly thick, and laid down pretty directly. And again, I'm just, interested in trying to get, different effects in the sky. Now, was it intentional? Not so much, but it's something that's come to my attention gradually. It's like, I need to focus on skies, and skies are kind of interesting to me right now. And so this was one of the last paintings that I had worked on. Everybody see the clouds and the trees. And,
Yep.
yay, it changed. Okay. And then you've all seen this one as well, right? And da 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 da. That song, from that
Jeopardy.
Jeopardy. There we go. Thank you. Yeah. All right. You see in the
That's your
house now?
house.
Yep.
Oh, okay. All right. So again, those are all kind of related, because of the sky element in the painting. And so again, I've been pushing myself to try to get more interesting skies in my paintings and not just having this kind of flat blue or gradation.
I always have fun with the skies, and I like with the watercolor, because if you do it when it's wet, you can get more of the color variations that look, to me, a little more natural with the less effort.
Yeah. Yeah, you can get some beautiful effects with watercolor. And particularly working like sunrise, sunset,
Yep.
Yeah, you're gonna really play with them. Anyway, so I'd done all of the paintings probably in the last probably the last 4 months. Okay. In going, some of them I had started much earlier, but went back in, modified them, changed them. So I finished another painting last night, actually, yesterday after we said goodbye. And this was it. And I posted it on Facebook. Some of you have seen it. And this is a big painting. This is 30 inches wide by 48 tall.
It's big.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good sized painting. And
It's behind you? Is that it behind you?
yes, that's it behind me. So can you see it on the screen?
Where is this scene, Charles?
Well, that's the thing. The clouds actually came from a storm when I was up in Sandy Springs, and I was living up there at Glen Ridge, at the studio. And then, and I actually had a different landscape originally. And I didn't like it. It's like one of those things that, you keep looking at going, yeah, I'm not so sure about that. So what was a couple of weeks ago, I went and blocked out like the bottom quarter, really all the land mass and everything. And really from, I guess, about this point down, I repainted, the whole painting. and got a little more depth and distance, you know, back here to the horizon line. And much happier with it now. So now it's done.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Charles, please explain the first word. Is it a Latin word or Italian word?
Oh, adagio? Adagio is a piece of music, like a symphony.
Right. Fast music.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's like a composition. You know, you have sonatas, you have adagios. You know, anybody really musical here? You know, they've got like what 10 or 15 different, you know, terms. You know, for different pieces of music and the styles and the lengths that they're written in. Like an adagio is, you know, it can
No,
be.
I was wrong. It's not fast. It's slow. Sorry.
I'm sorry. What?
It's the tempo is performed in a slow tempo. So that would make sense if it's a cloud because the cloud changes shapes.
Yeah.
Slowly.
Can I make a comment about your silos, Sky?
Oh, silos. Yes.
Seems to me that the clouds are all the same. There's no depth in those clouds.
Yeah, they were pretty
Just,
flat. Yeah, and I
Okay,
painted them
do
that
like
way,
that?
and you know, I just threw some color up there. You know, that's
Yeah,
one of
there's
the
color, but it seems to be the same.
yeah. And I'm not sure that I'm done with that one yet either. You know, I went back in and played with the trees and really pushed the color in the mountains and stuff. But when I had started that, I was actually up there. And like I said, I started it, I'd gone up to visit my son. This is up just a little bit north of Chattanooga. And I'd stopped out there that evening. And I only had about probably 45 minutes or so to get something down before it got dark. And so, you know, I slapped some color down there, and then I've probably worked on this thing like 3 or 4 times. And so finally I'm to where I like it. But
the rest of the painting's delightful. I mean,
Yeah.
From the mountains on down, everything fits really, really nice at the top. Clouds just don't seem to work all that well.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah, I don't know what, you know, I'll probably gradate them or vary them in some way. Spend a little more time on them. I could do that. See. But anyway, yeah. Now that I changed it, we'll wait 5 minutes.
Well, it changed back to the pink cloud, the storm
Good.
cloud.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
beautiful.
That's kind of the one I wanted to show you because I just finished it yesterday, and I was happy with that. You know? So anyway,
Now that I see this one, I'd like to see a little white in those clouds of the silo ones to pick up the white flowers that's in the foreground. I think would be really pretty, but not a bright white, but you know, just a white cloud of some kind over the pink
okay,
somewhere.
all right. I'll figure something out, and I'll show you guys again.
Okay.
Maybe on a day when it doesn't take 5 minutes to get a picture to load.
You're lucky you're still on camera because a lot of time it knocks me out.
Yeah.
Before I get off.
Yeah, I don't know why it's running so slow today, but I guess it just is what it is. Anyhow, but that's about all I got. And it's 3:09. So we've been here an hour. Anybody got anything else we need to talk about?
No.
Okay, let's see. Hey, June. How you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Good. Yeah, you came in late, didn't you?
Yeah,
Okay. Did you get either, I can't remember, did I send you a text or an email?
you send the email?
Yeah, with my updated contact information? Did you get that?
Yeah,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah. Did it come as an
Do I need
email?
to do something? Do I need to do something?
No, I'm just making sure that everybody got that.
Yeah, I got it. This morning, right?
I don't, yeah, it could have been this morning, it could have been this afternoon. I spent a good part of my day sending them out to people, so, yeah.
It's the
But-
same address though with the Fulton County address. The telephone number was different.
Yeah, well, the telephone number is the new thing. Because I didn't have
Yeah.
a phone, I didn't have a Fulton County phone. But you see, now that you've got an email address and a phone number,
And the phone number, yes.
if you
I
guys
got it.
need to send me a text, let's say you want to get a hold of me quickly, you could send me a text, and I'm probably better at responding to that than I am responding to an email, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So, yeah, just to let you know. All right. Well, if you guys don't have anything more to talk about, and all, I guess we will say adieu until
Adieu.
tomorrow morning.
Hey, we have one thing to talk about. Are you gonna give us a preview of what we're gonna be drawing tomorrow?
I'm not going to tell you.
What? Oh, last week.
It's called a surprise package when you come in and listen.
I didn't. No. I told
Yes,
you last
we-
week.
we're gonna do
Somebody a couple of days before requested that we do faces.
Yeah, that was me. That was me.
I know who it was. I wasn't going to blame you for it though. But no, somebody requested we do faces, so it's like, okay. But no, I'm going to come up with a couple of good things. Now tomorrow, rather than doing like a lot of quick drawings, we probably will only do like 3.
And I wanted to practice putting down one line rather than, yeah.
I'm not good with faces.
That's what I want to know.
So
Bernice, can you say that again? You wanted to put down a line?
I want to, you were saying I put down my lines as if I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
Yeah,
you want to work on not overstating things or restating them.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
we can do faces again because I'm not good with faces. So,
Well,
and we-
Armando, I can almost guarantee you we're going to have at least one face in there. Out of the 3 drawings, we're going to have at least one face. And we'll probably have some other things in there too.
I don't care if they do my own face, but that's okay.
But Bernice,
Mhm.
and I guess, in answer to your question, so if we only did 3 drawings, right, that means that we're going to probably have a good half hour on each drawing. So you'll have a good long time, which means that you can spend more time actually figuring out what you're going to put down there and whether you're going to put tone or value in it or whether it's just going to be line. And then what kind of line do you need to make, right?
Right.
So you see, you can think about all of that before you do it, and you don't have to feel like you have to be in a rush. Okay.
Okay.
So anyway, yes, we're going to do some longer, slower drawings tomorrow. Okay. So now you've got choices, right? You could work with a media like pen, right, where it's more lineal. Or you could work with a pencil that you can do more shading and tone, or graphite or pastel or charcoal or any other kind of drawing medium, right? You could also just, for the giggles of it, John,
Yeah. Yes.
work in watercolor.
Now, Charles, I have some pen. One is letter F, letter M, letter S.
You have
and
some
letter
what?
B. Which one is better for drawing?
Oh, pencils.
No, this is pen. It's not pencils.
Oh, pin. Oh, so you got like a fine line. Yeah, well, Armando, are they all the same color?
Yes, but they are letter B, F, M, and S.
Okay, so if you take the tops off of them and look at them,
Mm-hmm.
the reason that they're different letters is because A, the size of the point on the pin is different. Some are thicker, some are thinner.
Yeah.
One is a brush. A number B is probably a brush tip, which means that you can vary it more, right? So you see, you can use all those pins, and when you need a thicker line, you use the thicker pin. When you use a finer line or need a finer line, you use the finer pin.
Uh-huh.
See?
I see.
That's how that works. Because you can make different types of lines with them.
Mhm.
Okay?
Thank you. This stuff that Ron left behind, so.
Okay.
Using it.
Well, play with it for a little bit. Make sure that make sure they all work.
Yeah,
You know?
they work.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, they have a tendency to dry out a lot of times. So, okay.
So you're saying that these will be at least 25-minute drawings apiece, and then we'll talk about them after that?
No, I'm saying there'll be 30-minute drawings.
30-minute drawings, and then we'll talk about, okay.
Well, we will talk about them when you send them in, unless you have
That's right.
questions
Okay.
or whatever. Yeah, I'd have a hard time seeing what you're doing. You
I
know,
see.
unless you email it to me.
Okay.
Rebecca's gonna text you and say, made a line over here. What do I do with
There you go. Okay, where do I go from here? Do I do the eyelashes yet?
it?
Yeah. Believe me, I've done things like that to poor Charles.
All right. Okay. Anybody got anything else? If not,
No.
Thank
I'll be
you.
running late tomorrow.
Arrivederci.
Morning.
all right.
Bye.
Good morning. Bye-bye.
Look forward to seeing you in the morning at 10.
Thank you.